Like maybe get like Kaytranada back one day as well, because we booked him for about £300. And then yeah, within like 6 months to a year, he was like 20 grand. Or so it's just like never to be booked again. Hi there, I'm Rich Reason, promoter, DJ in Manchester, and this is Cause&Effect Spotlight. Missed a thing. I remember when I was really getting into it initially, you know, sort of scratch DJing and hitting, and there was this thing where he like won like the UK DMCs and that routine, and I must have watched it like 300, 400 times. You know, I used to watch it obsessively, and the thing about his scratch routine is a lot of them are technically amazing, but they're not that musical, you know what I mean? Whereas his, there's loads of scratching and tricks, but it flows. It's a bit like when DJ Premier mixes, he's like the Miles Davis of it. It's like he's not doing too much, but it's so tasteful. You've always got to remember, like anything, like it's got to be musical. You know, whether you're like mixing or scratching, if it detracts from the music, it's too much about your ego, then you're not doing it, you know, justice. Marcus Intellects, R.I.P. You're an incredible producer, but for me as a drum and bass DJ, just so much my taste. And Hit and Run in Manchester for the first year or two was very much more sort of locals and student DJs, and then we'd just started to book the odd headliner. So I think Scientific was the first one and Logistics, but we booked Marcus Intellects on my birthday at the Attic, and so it was the second year at Thirsty Scholar, and he played a 3-hour set with DRS, and we put a ridiculous amount of speakers in the Attic, and which is now the Zombie Shack. But that set, and Marcus always used to take the piss out of me as a southerner, but he always used to play Hit and Run, and every year at the birthday it would always be like special secret guest, and it was a running joke because it'd be Marcus every year. But yeah, I mean, as a DJ, just the fact that he had all these like caliber dubs that no one else had, and the way he mixed it, it was just so sort of euphoric and tasteful, and he took you on a real journey. So yeah, that one. There's a guy called G Jones, and I'm not sure he even does DJ sets, but I've been trying to book him for ages, and it's funny, Strats is a massive fanboy of his as well, but the problem is he's one of those DJs that like is absolutely huge in America, but like his music is that sort of like half-time, is it dubstep, is it drum and bass, is it, you know, sort of hip-hop drill? And I used to play loads of his tracks when we were touring with Levels because there's a lot of space for MCs in it. And Strats is a massive fan of it. I mean, I played with him recently, and he like hopped on and he reloaded the track about 7 times. And then I think it'd be cool to like maybe get like Kaytranada back one day as well, because we booked him for about £300. I gave him his first 2 UK sets. So we did one in London. We booked him on a Tuesday night in the Mint Lounge, and no one. And I did it with Nowwave, and there was about 250, 300 people there. And I remember John from Nowwave and I were like, oh, you know, how nice a dinner shall we take him out for? And we were like, well, we reckon he's going to be like quite big, so we took him out to this really nice Thai restaurant. And then yeah, within like 6 months to a year, he was like 20 grand. So it's just like never to be booked again. But yeah, there's certain lineups that happened at Hit and Run now that, you know, would just be, you know, you'd probably like need, you know, maybe not 1 million, but you'd need like an unfeasible amount of money. And they used to play on like a Monday night at Factory or whatever, and the tickets were a £5, you know what I mean, for like James Blake and Subtract and Red Light and Icicle and Alex Perez. So, but that's the kind of joy of being a sort of music nerd and a promoter, is you try and find people and you think, oh, I know, I reckon they'll do well. And then, you know, 5 years later, you like, you know, they won't reply to your emails anymore.